There's a country where you can stand with one foot in the northern hemisphere and the other in the southern. A place where time slows down and the sun passes directly overhead. This is Ecuador, named after the equator itself. Although it may be small, Ecuador is one of the most diverse places on Earth. It's the gateway to a land overflowing with extremes, snow-capped volcanoes towering above the clouds, steamy Amazon jungles buzzing with life, and islands where animals don't fear humans. So, how does one tiny country hold so much wonder? And what makes Ecuador feel like four worlds in one? Stay tuned to find out. Over 800 years ago, a volcanic explosion so powerful shook the Andes. Ash flew hundreds of miles and lava reached the Pacific Ocean. The volcano collapsed, forming a giant hole in the earth. And now that hole holds a glowing lake at 13,000 feet above sea level. This is Quilotoa. The crater is about 3 kilometers wide. It was created during what's called a VEI-6 eruption, one of the most intense types of volcanic explosions on Earth. That blast sent ash across the northern Andes and completely changed the landscape here. Since then, the caldera has slowly filled with water. Today, the lake is 250 meters deep and shines a bright green color because of the minerals in the water. If you look closely, you might even see gas bubbles coming from the lake floor, signs that the volcano is still active underneath. Hiking the rim is tough. It's a 10-kilometer trail that's steep and sandy, with fog that sometimes rolls in out of nowhere. But the views are absolutely worth it. Just keep in mind, there's no drinkable water at the bottom unless you bring your own or buy bottled water from the small hostel there. And somehow, through fire and time, nature turned this volcano into one of the most beautiful and unforgettable places in the Andes. Now, before we move on to the next destination, here's a fun question for you. Which empire once ruled Ecuador? Comment on your answer below. What if finishing a church could bring the end of the world? Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what people say about the Basilica of the National Vow in Ecuador. This massive cathedral, located in the heart of Quito, is the largest neo-Gothic church in all of the Americas. It's 140 meters long, and its two towers reach up to 115 meters high, taller than most buildings in the city. The idea for the basilica came in the 19th century to honor Ecuador's dedication to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. A French architect, Emilio Tarlier, designed it after studying the famous Notre Dame in Paris. Even though the church was officially inaugurated in 1924, it's still considered unfinished. According to Ecuadorian legend, if it's ever fully completed, the world will come to an end. This legend adds a layer of mystery, making it one of the most fascinating landmarks in Quito. Over 1 million years ago, deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, fire tore through the seafloor. Volcanoes erupted with unstoppable force, rising from the waves to form a chain of islands no one had ever seen before. Today, those fiery beginnings still echo through the land, a raw, ancient world where giant tortoises roam, marine iguanas dive like dragons, and evolution is still very much alive. This is the Galapagos. Here, animals don't run from people, they ignore us. Sea lions nap in the middle of town. Blue-footed boobies dance like no one's watching. More than 600 miles from mainland Ecuador, this remote archipelago became the spark behind one of science's biggest ideas, Darwin's theory of evolution. With over 9,000 species, many found nowhere else on Earth, the islands are like a living laboratory frozen in time. But even paradise needs protection. Fishing, tourism, and invasive species now threaten this delicate ecosystem. Thankfully, conservation efforts are fighting back, led by scientists, locals, and global partners like WWF. The Galapagos isn't just a destination, it's a reminder of how strange, beautiful, and fragile our world really is. If you are watching this, please click the subscribe button in the corner of the screen. It's completely free, but means a lot to us. There's a volcano so powerful it's destroyed entire cities, more than once. This isn't a movie, it's real, and it's called Cotopaxi. Just a short ride from Quito, this giant stands over 19,000 feet tall, covered in ice and steam. On clear days, its perfect cone shape can be seen from miles away. It's like nature's own masterpiece. Cotopaxi is one of the world's tallest active volcanoes, and it's still rumbling beneath the surface today. It has erupted over 80 times, carving deep valleys with rivers of mud and ash. Locals once believed it was the home of gods, calling it the neck of the moon because of its crescent-shaped crater. Today, climbers and nature lovers from all over the world come here to explore its slopes and stunning views. If you're into legends, adventure, or just standing in awe of Earth's power, Cotopaxi is the place to be. Most forests grow under the clouds. But here, the forest grows in them. High in the Andes of Ecuador, mist hugs the trees, birds call from hidden branches, and every corner is alive with color. This is Mindo, and it's like nothing you've ever seen. If you love birds, this might just be your paradise. Mindo is one of the best birdwatching spots in the entire world. That's because it sits in a cloud forest, where the weather is just right for all kinds of life. You can see toucans, woodpeckers, colorful tanagers, and even the famous cock of the rock, a bright red bird that looks like it came from a cartoon. Some birds were flying through the trees. Others just sat on branches, almost posing for the camera. You don't even need to hike deep into the forest. You can spot birds from your hotel balcony. But if you want the best experience, take a birding tour. The local guides can find birds you'd never notice on your own. This is Quito, the capital city of Ecuador, and it's packed with history, culture, and some really cool geography. It sits high up in the Andes Mountains, about 2,850 meters above sea level, which makes it one of the highest capital cities in the world. Quito is built in a long valley on the side of an active volcano called Pichincha, so the views here are pretty wild. People have lived in this area for thousands of years. The Quito people were here long before the Inca Empire arrived. In 1534, the Spanish officially founded the city, and that's why Quito has one of the oldest historic centers in South America. You can still walk through the old streets today and see amazing churches, colonial buildings, and museums. In fact, Quito was one of the very first cities in the world to be named a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's also the closest capital city to the equator. There's even a spot where you can stand with one foot in each hemisphere. Have you been to Quito yet? If you've been, drop a 1. If it's now on your list, drop a 2. To most people, it's just another town in Ecuador. But once you arrive, you'll understand. It's a place of healing, adventure, and even miracles. This is Baños, the gateway to the Amazon. The town sits high in the Andes, right at the foot of the Tungurahua Volcano. This volcano is still active, and in 1999, it erupted so strongly that over 17,000 people had to leave the town for weeks. But instead of leaving for good, the people of Baños came back and built a life right next to the fire. The volcano heats the many hot springs around the town, which is why Baños is also called the Baths of Sacred Water. Many believe these waters can heal the body and the spirit, and people from all over come here to soak and relax. The town is also known for a story about the Virgin Mary appearing near a waterfall to protect the people. Baños is also a place for thrill seekers. Visitors come to go rafting, zip-lining, and biking along the famous waterfall route. There are over 60 waterfalls in the area, including the powerful Pailon del Diablo and the misty Manto de la Novia. Baños brings together nature, stories, and excitement in a way that feels truly special. Just a short drive from Quito, there's a place where snow-capped volcanoes and steamy rainforests live side by side. This is Cayambe Coca National Park, a wild and beautiful land right on the equator. The park is huge, almost 1 million acres, and stretches from high mountains down to the Amazon basin. You can hike to Cayambe Volcano, sleep in a mountain hut, or explore waterfalls, lakes, and misty cloud forests. Some areas feel like cold grasslands, while others are full of green jungle plants and tiny lakelets. Up in the sky, you might see giant Andean condors flying above the cliffs. Down below, there are spectacled bears, mountain tapirs, foxes, rabbits, and even armadillos hiding in the grass. More than 100 kinds of mammals and nearly 400 bird species live in the park's forests and paramo. And throughout the land, indigenous communities like the Quechua and Kofan people still live in harmony with nature. More than 7,000 pieces of aluminum shipped from Spain. Assembled like a massive jigsaw puzzle on top of a volcanic hill. It's not science fiction, it's real. This is the story of Quito's iconic Virgin. Her full name is La Virgen de El Panecillo, and she stands on a hill right in the center of the city. The hill is called El Panecillo, which means little bread in Spanish, because it looks like a small loaf of bread. At 41 meters tall, she's even taller than the famous Christ the Redeemer statue in Brazil. And she's not just big, she's the tallest aluminum statue in the world. The statue was inspired by a much smaller wooden figure made in 1732 by an artist named Bernardo de la Garda. Lagarda gave the Virgin something very special: wings, a chain, and the feeling of movement, like she could come to life. Almost 250 years later, his artwork was turned into this giant monument to honor the Virgin Mary and the rich culture of Quito. The pieces were built in Madrid by a Spanish artist, then brought to Ecuador by ship and put together piece by piece. Now she stands high above the city, holding a chain and stepping on a snake, symbols of her power to defeat evil. From the top of the hill, you can see an amazing 180-degree view of Quito's Old Town and beyond. High in the Andes Mountains, Cuenca sits at 2,550 meters and feels like spring almost all year round. Colorful buildings, colonial churches, and cobblestone streets make Cuenca look like a storybook. But even before the Spanish and the Incas, the Cañari people lived here and called it Guaponda Lake, land as big as heaven. Later, the Incas turned it into a grand city named Tomebamba, and some believe it was the real El Dorado. Cuenca is also known as the Athens of Ecuador because it's full of art, culture, and brilliant minds. It's not just charming, it's also Ecuador's third largest city, full of life, history, and heart. Wander through its UNESCO-listed Old Town, and you'll feel the magic in every step. We gather info from lots of places, so if you notice something we missed or have something cool to add, just drop it in the comments. We'd really love to hear from you. Puerto Lopez is a small fishing town on Ecuador's Pacific coast, with just over 12,000 people. It sits in a beautiful curved bay and is the gateway to Machalila National Park. Locals catch fish like tuna, marlin, and amberjack. Fishing here isn't just a job, it's a way of life. But it's not all boats and nets. This place is also famous for whale watching. From June to October, you can spot giant humpback whales as they jump, splash, and even mate near Salango Island. The town started as a fishing village in the early 1900s, and it's grown into a top spot for nature and culture. The people here come from a mix of indigenous and mestizo backgrounds, giving the town a rich, colorful identity. What if I told you there's a city in South America that was once a pirate's dream, a freedom fighter's stage, and now the economic engine of an entire country? Welcome to Guayaquil, Ecuador's hidden powerhouse. This city sits along the Guayas River where Spanish ships once stopped on their way to and from Asia. Back in the 1600s and 1700s, Guayaquil was a tempting target. Pirates from England and France attacked more than once, looting homes and even demanding ransoms. But Guayaquil didn't just survive, it made history. In 1820, local rebels and soldiers teamed up to overthrow Spanish rule. That moment marked the birth of Ecuador's independence movement. Even before that, Guayaquil played a huge role in the Spanish Empire. It was home to the main shipyard in the South Pacific, where wooden galleons were built by hand. Many workers were enslaved people who, over time, fought hard for their freedom, just like a woman named Maria Chiquinquirá, who won her case in court. By the late 1800s, it had become a busy trade center. And after a massive fire in 1896, Guayaquileños rebuilt with even more pride. Now, Guayaquil is full of color and contrast. Modern skyscrapers rise next to vibrant hillside neighborhoods. Santa Marianita is one of those quiet treasures sitting calmly on Ecuador's coast. This little village is famous for kite surfing, where steady winds blow from May to December, and the ocean gives you all the space you need. And during whale season, from June to September, you can spot humpback whales jumping right near the shore. The beach stretches for 7 kilometers, perfect for long walks, swimming, or just watching the sunset. Nearby, waves are great for surfing too, whether you're just starting out or already love to ride. It's warm and dry for most of the year. No bugs, no rain, and no wetsuits needed. People here live simply, fishing and enjoying the rhythm of the sea, far from the rush of city life. Santa Marianita may look small on the map, but it leaves a huge feeling in your heart. Did you know the closest point on Earth to the Sun isn't Mount Everest? It's actually the top of Chimborazo, a giant volcano in Ecuador, thanks to Earth's shape and its bulge at the equator. Even though it's not the tallest above sea level, its summit is the farthest point from the center of the Earth. Locals call it Taita Chimborazo, Father Chimborazo, because they see the mountain as a powerful life-giving force. This extinct volcano stands over 6,200 meters tall and is covered in sparkling glaciers that send water down to rivers, towns, and farms below. You'll also spot llamas, alpacas, and vicuñas walking through the golden grasslands that stretch around the mountain. It's part of the Chimborazo Fauna Reserve, a protected area full of rare wildlife and stunning views. And on clear days, you can even see Chimborazo's snowy peak from the coast, nearly 140 kilometers away. No wonder this mountain is one of Ecuador's most incredible natural wonders. Ibarra is a small, peaceful city surrounded by mountains and rivers in northern Ecuador. It sits at the base of the Imbabura volcano, about 2 hours northeast of Quito. People call it the White City because of the bright white houses and old stone streets. The weather stays cool and sunny most of the year, which makes walking around really enjoyable. Three main cultures live here: Mestizo, Afro-Ecuadorian, and Indigenous, bringing music, colors, and traditions to daily life. Locals are known for their beautiful crafts, friendly smiles, and delicious food. Ibarra was first built in 1606, but after a big earthquake in 1868, the city had to start over again. This cozy mountain town is full of history, culture, and amazing views everywhere you look. If you're ready to see one of the most powerful waterfalls in Ecuador, Pailon del Diablo will blow you away, literally. It might be only 262 feet tall, but when you're standing next to it, it feels way bigger. That's because the water shoots through a narrow channel and crashes down with incredible force. The impact is so strong, it carved out a giant bowl in the mountain, creating a wild swirl of water. There's even a second drop, hidden from the main trail, that makes it look like nature's doing a magic trick. For the best view, you can take an easier trail with amazing views of the whole waterfall and the green hills around it. Along the way, you'll walk through paths filled with orchids, jungle plants, and colorful butterflies. At the very edge, there's a lookout where mist fills the air, and you can feel the waterfall all around you. Deep in the Andes of Ecuador, there's a hidden lake with a funny name, Quicocha, which means guinea pig lake. The name comes from an island in the middle of the lake that looks just like a guinea pig from above. This beautiful lake was formed over 3,000 years ago after a huge volcanic eruption shook the land. Now, it sits at the foot of the Cotopaxi Volcano, surrounded by steep cliffs and peaceful forested islands. Locals believe this lake is special, not just for its beauty, but for its spiritual power. San Pablo Lake is a peaceful, shining lake that sits right below the giant Ibarra volcano. It's just a short drive, only 5 minutes, from the town of Otavalo. Every year, swimmers come from all over to cross the lake during the big Yamor celebration. The water is deep and clear, and around the edges, you'll see tall plants called totora, used to make local crafts. The lake is home to birds like white herons, hummingbirds, and sea swallows, and even rainbow trout. Locals also call it Imbacocha, and it sits high in the Andes at 2,660 meters above sea level. And behind all this beauty, there's a magical love story about a girl, a volcano, and a special corn drink called Yamor. They say the girl made this drink with 7 kinds of corn to win the heart of the boy she loved, and it actually worked. Not far from Cuenca, there's a peaceful place hidden in the Andes, El Cajas National Park. It's a land of soft hills, sparkling lakes, and clouds that drift low across the mountains. With over 270 lakes and lagoons, the scenery here feels like something out of a dream. The name Cajas means gateway to the snowy mountains, and it truly feels like one. If you're lucky, you might spot a giant hummingbird or even a condor flying high above. This park is also home to ancient trails once walked by the Cañari and Inca people. Every step here brings a mix of calm, history, and wild beauty. In the mountains of Ecuador, there's a small town called Otavalo that's full of color and culture. It sits high in the Andes, more than 8,000 feet above sea level, and has a long history going back to the Otavalo people. Before the Incas came, this land was already full of life, and even after an earthquake in 1868, the town was rebuilt with care. Otavalo is most famous for its amazing markets, where locals sell handmade ponchos, carpets, jewelry, and leather goods. Every week, people gather for the animal market too. It's loud, busy, and full of energy. The land around the town is perfect for growing potatoes, fruits, and grains, and many families still live off the land today. If you visit in early September, you can join the Yamor Festival, a fun harvest celebration with music, dancing, and local drinks. Otavalo is easy to reach, just a short drive from Quito along the Pan American Highway. It's the kind of place where every street feels like a photo and every corner tells a story. Hidden in the Andes Mountains, southwest of Quito, is a peaceful volcano called Corazon. Its name means heart in Spanish because from far away, two ridges on the mountain look like a heart shape. Even though it's not active now, studies say it may have erupted about 12,000 years ago. The trails are covered in tall grasses and shrubs, and you might spot foxes, rabbits, hawks, owls, or even a tiny hummingbird. It takes about 4 hours to hike to the top, and the views are totally worth it. From the summit, you can see other giant volcanoes like Cotopaxi, Cayambe, and even Chimborazo. People love coming here to hike, ride horses, or bike across the mountain paths. Just remember to dress warm, wear sunscreen, and go with a trusted guide to stay safe. This is Tungurahua, one of Ecuador's most active volcanoes. It's known as the Throat of Fire, and once you see it, you'll understand why. Tungurahua rises over 16,000 feet into the sky, just above the peaceful town of Baños de Agua Santa. From far away, it looks calm and quiet. But deep inside, it's full of energy. Since 1999, this volcano has been waking up again and again, sometimes with smoke, sometimes with fire. In 2006, one eruption sent ash 10 kilometers into the air and caused people to leave their homes. But for many locals, this mountain isn't just dangerous, it's part of their identity. They call her Mama Tungurahua, the black giant who protects and warns at the same time. It's a place of power, legend, and beauty, all rolled into one unforgettable view. Pichincha is a beautiful province in northern Ecuador, right in the heart of the Andes Mountains. Its capital is Quito, which is also the capital city of the whole country. The province is named after Pichincha Volcano, a huge and active volcano near Quito. The weather here stays cool all year, and the best time to visit is from January to September. Back in 1822, an important battle for independence happened on the slopes of this volcano. Another popular spot is the Middle of the World Monument, which marks where the equator passes through Ecuador. In 2023, Pichincha created a new protected area to help save forests, animals, and 13 unique ecosystems. Nature, culture, and history all come together here, making Pichincha a special place to explore. General Villamil Playas, or just Playas, is a beach town in the Guayas province of Ecuador. It's known for its long 14-kilometer beach, where people come to swim, relax, and enjoy the sun all year round. From January to April, it can get really hot, up to 37 degrees Celsius, but even in the cooler months, the skies stay mostly sunny. Unlike other beaches in Ecuador, Playas has dry sand and fewer plants because the heat makes the water evaporate faster than it rains. People here still honor old fishing traditions, like using the balsa de tres palos, a boat made from 3 logs and a tall sail. The San Pedro Festival is also a big deal. On that day, the town celebrates with a boat parade in the ocean. There are plenty of beaches to explore, perfect for water sports, relaxing, or trying something new. And if you head a little farther out, there are quiet fishing villages with amazing seafood. But it's always smart to check local safety updates before you go. Tucked away in the high mountains of northern Ecuador, El Angel Ecological Reserve feels like a secret world. It's called the Angel's Tundra, and it looks like something from a dream, full of misty hills and trees with peeling paper-like bark. Getting here takes a bit of adventure with winding mountain roads and a bumpy ride past the town of El Angel. But once you arrive, the hike through the soft, damp forest feels like stepping into another world. The most amazing plants here are called frailedones. They're fuzzy, tall, and look like they're wearing little fur coats. These plants are actually cousins of sunflowers, but they're built for cold weather high in the Andes. And if you're lucky, you might spot a group of condors flying close by. They nest right here in the reserve. It's peaceful, wild, and full of life. One of Ecuador's hidden treasures worth every step. This is the Cuyabeno Wildlife Reserve, one of the biggest and most special protected areas in all of Ecuador. It's tucked away in the Amazon, near the Andes Mountains, and it feels like a world of its own. Here, the ground is flat and often flooded, creating a maze of forests, lakes, and little rivers. That's what makes this place so rare. Swamps and lakes like these usually don't exist this close to the mountains. The weather is a bit cooler here too, with warm days and nights that dip into the 70s. Because of the location and the climate, the plants and animals are a little different from the rest of the Amazon. It may not be the most diverse place in the world, but it's still full of life. Same Beach is a peaceful getaway on Ecuador's Pacific coast. It stretches out for almost 6 kilometers, with soft white sand and lots of space to relax or play. The weather here is warm and tropical all year long, making it perfect for swimming, sunbathing, and enjoying the ocean breeze. Along the shore, you'll find a private community called Casablanca, known for its white hotels and beachside apartments. If you visit during whale season, you might even spot humpback whales on a boat tour. Pasochoa is an extinct volcano just an hour from Quito, hidden inside a peaceful nature reserve. Even though it doesn't erupt anymore, it stands tall at 4,200 meters and is full of life. Its crater, shaped like a giant bowl, has helped protect one of the last Andean forests in the region. Here, you can find over 120 types of birds, including rare ones like condors and turkey vultures. The forest is also home to foxes, pumas, skunks, and even little lizards and snakes. People come here to hike, ride horses, and enjoy the stunning mountain views. Camping is popular too, especially at night when the forest comes alive with sounds and stories. Thanks to old lava and ash, the soil here is super rich, making everything grow green and wild. Pasochoa may be quiet now, but its beauty and wildlife make it one of Ecuador's most special places to explore. Pastaza River is a wild and winding river that flows from the mountains all the way to the Amazon jungle. It starts as the Patat River, running down from the Cotopaxi Volcano, then meets the Chimborazo River near the town of Baños. As the two rivers join, the water picks up speed and power, becoming the mighty Pastaza. Just outside Baños, the river rushes past cliffs and forests. The canyon that follows is narrow and deep, with roaring rapids perfect for whitewater adventures. One of the most stunning views is the Pailon del Diablo waterfall, surrounded by thick green jungle and mist. As the river moves toward the Amazon, the land opens up and the water flows wide and calm through peaceful valleys. The Pastaza carries the spirit of the Andes with it, as it slips quietly into Peru and disappears into the great rainforest beyond. Just a few minutes north of Marianita, there's a quiet beach town called Olon. It sits along the Spondylus route in the Santa Elena province, with warm weather all year, around 24 degrees Celsius. Olon has over 4 miles of soft sandy beach, making it one of the longest beaches on Ecuador's coast. The name Olon comes from the Spanish word for great wave, because of the giant waves that once reached its shore. It's a great spot for surfing, or even learning how to surf for the first time. Unlike the party vibes of Marianita, Olon is peaceful and calm. There's no loud music, no crowds, just ocean breeze and open space to relax. The town still keeps a bit of that chill backpacker spirit, but it's way more laid back. For anyone looking to slow down and enjoy the sea, Olon is a perfect escape. Colimez, a small riverside town in Ecuador's Guayas province. Once a year, the trees here turn bright yellow, like the whole forest is glowing. These are guayacán trees, and their flowers only bloom for a few days each year. People from all over come to see this short but stunning show of color. The yellow petals dance in the wind, and it feels like walking through a dream. It's peaceful, quiet, and full of nature's beauty. This blooming season happens between December and January, but only for about 1 week. So, if you ever visit Ecuador, don't miss Colimes when the guayacán trees are in bloom. It's a once-a-year wonder. The Ecuadorian Amazon is one of the most amazing places on Earth. It's packed with life, color, and mystery. This rainforest is home to more animals and plants than almost anywhere else, including piranhas, anacondas, jaguars, and even 70,000 kinds of insects in just 1 acre. If you love birds, you're in for a treat. Ecuador has over 1,600 species, and many of them live right here, like bright toucans and rainbow-colored macaws. But it's not just about nature. The Amazon River was actually discovered from Ecuador during a wild expedition looking for the lost city of gold. Deep in the forest, there are still tribes who choose to live without phones, electricity, or any contact with the outside world. From jungle hikes to spotting monkeys in the trees, this is the kind of adventure you'll never forget. And just like that, we've wandered through cloud forests, met wild monkeys in the Amazon, and stood in the land of volcanoes and legends. Ecuador may be small on the map, but every corner is packed with color, culture, and surprises you'll never see coming. Whether it's the call of a toucan at sunrise or the stories whispered through ancient ruins, something here always pulls you in a little deeper. From high in the Andes to deep in the rainforest, this country has a way of making you feel like you've stepped into a whole new world. And the best part? Every place we've seen is just one chapter of the story. There's still so much more to discover. Maybe it's chasing waterfalls in the jungle, or getting lost in a quiet mountain village. Maybe it's both. Ecuador isn't just a destination, it's a feeling. Thanks for traveling with us. See you in the next adventure.